You're so weird. I don't think she likes this. This has been a day full of Sonic. We saw the movie twice in a row. First at AMC to pick up their merch, and then at Regal to pick up their merch. And we're gonna show it to you right now. Let's start with AMC.
Yeah, so we went to the AMC Fan Event, and each person got this poster.
This is really, really cool. It looks so slick with all the black and red printing. Can't wait to hang this up somewhere. We got 2 of them.
That's I love that design.
Mm-hmm.
So cool. And then the other fan event item were the keychains, so you got to pick your character.
Of course I picked Shadow, and of course
I picked Tails.
These are pretty cool. They are kind of this bendy plastic. I don't know what to describe that as. It feels really good quality, and this is going to be perfect on my Shadow backpack. All right.
Yeah, I'm really happy with the keychains. I expected them to be lesser quality. I mean, they're not like the nicest keychains in the world, but they're better than what I thought they were going to be. And I like that it says Sonic 3 on the back.
Ooh, they smell really good too. If you went to the fan event, if you haven't yet, take a whiff.
So then we couldn't stop there. We had to get the drink cups.
Yes, with the toppers, they have a choice of 4 characters: Shadow, Tails, Sonic, or Knuckles. And each of the cups also has a design specific to that character. And the tough thing about that was, in order to get these, you had to buy the set. It comes with a popcorn bucket, has a little window in it, and you can see Shadow in the back of it once it's empty. It says Sonic 3 at the bottom. And then each of the other sides shows these characters. But in order to get both the toppers, we had to get 2 things of popcorn. And so we are sick of popcorn today.
We had a lot of popcorn. And then it also came with the masks. Oh, like weird.
I look cool, right?
Super cool.
Yeah, and I thought at first that they were just going to be kind of like a soft cardboard kind of thing, but they're pretty cool. They actually have foam, so it's kind of thick, and it feels a little more premium. That's pretty cool. It's got some nice Velcro on the back, and it fits well on the heads, but it was kind of distracting to wear them while watching the movie, so they didn't stay on our heads very long. The actual theater for that AMC was a Dolby special seats and everything, where they have the reclining seats and the really good sound system. It sounded amazing, all the explosions, and especially that song that comes on. Both theaters had the same popcorn bucket. It's the disembodied Sonic head. It's kind of cool. It opens up like this. You can put popcorn inside of it. It doesn't have a whole lot of reach. You're kind of more for the novelty of it than ease of popcorn eating. Kind of like that Ghostbusters trap that I got for Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. That's right. They had other popcorn buckets at AMC. I didn't get footage of that. It was a Shadow kind of looked kind of chibi small, and then on the other side was Super Shadow. It was a popcorn bucket. It looked like it would be really hard to reach into. We didn't get that.
All right, so we got this one from Regal, but like you said, this was also at AMC. But then at Regal, they had these cups.
And these are the ones I've been really excited about, because I think it's so cool that they have them sitting in movie chairs like this. So this one's holding a little popcorn. This one holding popcorn and also drink. And I don't know if I'll actually do this, but I was thinking it'd be funny if I 3D scan this and put another one on top of this, and another one on top of that, and on top of that, and on top of that, forever.
And then the cups have
lenticular
Sonic, and it says
Yeah, we won a race.
This ends now, won a race, yes.
There we go.
I don't know if you can actually see that on the video.
Okay.
Oh,
Whoa! They fall off easily.
the shadow keeps falling off. The tails hasn't yet, but they fall off. The cups from AMC came with these straws.
Oh yeah.
And make free reservations for movies like these.
That's weird.
Coming soon to an
And I've never had a straw like this before where it's like bendy, but that was pretty cool. The Regal ones did not come with a straw, so we just reused the straws since we already had them.
Yeah, I bought the Regal ones in the morning just to make sure I got my hands on them. I didn't know if they would happen to sell out or not.
Why is it not unlocking?
Wow!
So the nice thing about the Regal set is if there's two of you going, you get one popcorn bucket with 2 cups. The AMC set, you have to get 1 cup, 1 popcorn bucket, and 1 hat. So, we had to get 2 sets because we wanted 2 cups.
So overall, I think the AMC one was more fun. It was packed full of people, and everybody was really excited to see it. The seats were amazing. It was the Dolby Cinema, whatever. I don't know what the branding is, but it had great sound, great video quality, and it just felt like everybody was there to have a good time. When we went to Regal, nobody was having a bad time either, but it wasn't not even half full, not even a quarter full. So it was a lot quieter. It was nice to pay attention more to the movie because some parts of the movie when we saw it during the fan event, there were some people talking too much. It was a little bit hard to focus on dialogue, but it was fun because everybody's excited about it.
Yeah, I think before we were debating whether to go to the fan event because we already purchased the tickets to Regal. And I didn't really have an opinion either way. I probably would have just said, oh, we're going to the Regal one, that's fine, we don't need to go to the fan event. But now having gone to both, I do recommend the fan event. I think it's only the first day, right, that they do the fan event?
To my knowledge.
Okay, so unfortunately you can't do it now, but in the future, if they have another fan event, I thought it was really fun, so I would recommend it.
So now we're going to talk about the movie. This will not be spoiler free, so if you haven't seen it yet, pause the video, come back to it after you've seen it. We're not going to outright just say everything that happened, but things will come up as we talk about it. Overall, I can't believe it was given a 6 out of 10 by a certain review company. Everybody has been talking about that. We're not going to talk about that any further than what I have talked about now. I give this a solid 8.5 out of 10. I think it's one of those things where I am absolutely floored by the movie. I kind of want to give it a 10 out of 10, just emotional gut feeling. But I know I always feel that way after movies, so I'm going to temper my feelings about it and give it an 8.5. What do you think?
Yeah, I think 8.5 is fair. It's very similar to the first 2 movies in terms of the humor, and I thought it was fun, and I liked the first 2 movies, and I liked this one. And so if you have seen the first 2 movies, I think you kind of know what you're in for when it comes to the third one.
And they cut out a lot more of the human characters this time, but still gave them all, I think, the right amount of screen time. It's, I like all the characters. We both like all the characters. And they did a fun thing with the holograms in the middle of it where they brought Rachel and Rachel's husband, I don't remember his name. They had them as holograms being, they were trying to get into the gun headquarters. And it was a nice way to introduce them without having to have that baggage of bringing them into the story in an actual way.
And the same with Wade. Like, there's a small part with Wade, but he doesn't take up a lot of the story. So it's nice that he's still there, but it doesn't take up a ton of time.
But I do like Wade so much, I kind of wish Wade had a little bit more than what he did have.
I agree.
But it was a good little cameo for him to be in there. A lot of cool, neat gadgets, like Tails has a flying jetpack thing. Even just his little handcuffs that he brought for the Tokyo fight had a cool design. They really expanded on the tool set there, and I want to make the little pins for the holograms that are actually at full size that you can put on your own collar. I think that would be a pretty cool thing. Maria and Shadow, they did such a good job at establishing their relationship efficiently. It kind of made me think of Up. It wasn't a romantic relationship, but the way that Up in the very beginning really set up their relationship without a whole lot of dialogue and just really being efficient in that storytelling to bring in this new character, two new characters actually, and make you really understand their relationship and feel for them. They did an incredible job at that, and I think the actress who played Maria was really, really good. I often highly criticize young actors, and mostly child actors. She was older than a child, but her acting was fantastic, especially acting against presumably nothing there. I don't know if Keanu Reeves was on set or not, but it was a really standout performance for me with that.
As somebody who didn't play the video game and hasn't watched the clips from that, I know the surface level information of that story, and I did appreciate the way that it was portrayed in the movie. And yeah, I felt for those characters knowing very little about their backstory.
And Gerald was better than I expected. I wasn't having high hopes for that, because in the trailer, it was kind of funny, but it was just like an extra Jim Carrey. And Jim Carrey's always amazing in these. I think this is the best one he's been, but I wasn't getting that excited for Gerald particularly. And I really did like the dynamic between the two of them, and the way that he treated things more serious and more sinister kind of contrasted against the silliness of Dr. Robotnik. I think that was a really good distinction between the two. Both of them were outlandish and very silly, basically Jim Carrey doing his thing, but there was still a distinction between them that worked really well. And you really sensed an uncontrolled, unhinged version of Gerald at the end that made things seem like it was really serious.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely felt like they felt like two different characters that have similar mannerisms because they're related and whatnot, but definitely different. And he was in the movie a lot more than I thought he was going to be, Gerald. So that was interesting, and I liked that as well. And
all the VFX and setup that would go into getting those duplicated performances. This isn't where they just set it on a tripod and cut the screen down the middle. There are scenes where they're interacting with each other, and actually, like there was one scene where they both point their fingers at each other. And that's pretty hard. I don't think they used a body double because I don't think it looked perfect. I feel like the part where they touched their fingers together was actually two separate performances that they must have done some kind of trickery to really get the finger in the right spot. There were a lot of shots where I, for better or worse, kind of got taken out of the movie because I was thinking, how did they do that? But I consider that a good thing. I like to think about those things as a VFX artist myself. Speaking of the relationships with Eggman, I think what they did with Agent Stone was really good. When they started splitting up when exploring the gun facility, they paired Agent Stone with Tails, and I think that was a good way to expand his character a little bit and get some insight into what he thinks about the relationship, because he just keeps getting punched in the gut and in the throat by Eggman, and he really, he's a great assistant to Eggman and has always helped him out, but not being treated well. And I think the dynamic that was brought into this movie with Stone was really good. It made you feel for the character more. And then, oh my gosh, speaking of that, I love the way that they used the Eggman message in kind of a different way than it was done in Sonic Adventure 2, to have that really heartfelt, kind of an apology from Dr. Eggman and showing Agent Stone that he really did care about him and appreciate him, especially after he went through that betrayal by Gerald. And I think that was a really great way to still do that message, but in a way that just really has more emotional weight than just what it was originally.
Right. And like you said, I think it was a really good send-off to Dr. Robotnik if that is his end. But then if he does come back in the next movie, I think it's kind of fun that he keeps having these ends and then he just is randomly back, and it's not really explained how or why, but he's there, and then you we like it anyway. So
Yeah.
it's fun if it's a really good send off if that is his last movie, and then if not, then great.
Yeah. Let's talk about the part of the movie. Everybody's favorite part probably is where Shadow and Sonic finally team up as Super Shadow. They turn into the supers before that, then they fight for a little bit. They both transform, and then there's that really emotional moment with Sonic and Shadow, and then they team up, and Live and Learn comes on. And then they both shoot off, and they have the thing where they both come at the camera, and then later on they do the crossing thing. That was really great. Just hearing that music, it was the perfect timing for it. I do wish both of those scenes where we hear Live and Learn were a bit longer. I think. Yeah,
it does feel, seeing it the second time especially, I felt like it was cut a little bit short. But
yeah, and then after that scene, that's absolutely amazing. You kind of cut to the visual gag of Gerald spanking Dr. Eggman, and yeah, I wish we had another 15 seconds of that action to really absorb that before that silly scene happened. Let's see, do we want to talk about the end credit scene? I've been waiting so long to show Blade my 3D print of the... Okay, spoilers everybody, the Amy head that I made, I sculpted it on the night that it was leaked, and I updated it the next day too, because a better picture came out the next day. So if all you've seen is that video, I updated the tufts a little bit to be more accurate, and eventually soon I'll be having that as a custom video coming up when, probably later this year, maybe in January, we'll see. But I love her design. If you watch this channel, I'm not a huge fan of Metal Sonic. I don't really like his spindly design that much, but I gotta admit, he looked pretty cool in this trailer, and I think it's the right decision. I was hoping for chaos, but for people, first one you had Tails, second one you had Shadow. Those are recognizable characters. As these movies go on, you're going to have a lot less recognizable cameos at the end, and it may be hard to keep up that excitement. So I think Amy and Metal Sonic were the right additions to this.
Yeah, I kind of expected it to be Amy if she wasn't introduced during the movie somehow. That's who I would have expected it to be. And it was kind of an added bonus to have the Metal Sonic. Even though I don't have any stake in it being Metal Sonic, it was just kind of a cool visual.
Yeah, absolutely. And I do want to make that hand cannon that he has. I don't know if that's in other games or anything. I've never seen it myself. So I'm hoping that it's something new, and then I'll make a custom of that in the next couple of days. That should be fun. I hear Poppy making some noise. Let's get her on the camera.
Let's get her opinion.
Where are you? Poppy? So,
Poppy, what is your opinion?
What is your opinion of us being gone for, 10 hours? No, 11 or 12 hours. What did you think? You were yelling at us when you got home. You had a lot to say then. What do you have to say now? Poppy?
You like our new merch?
Don't step on our poster, please. Okay,
Thank you.
Bye. Well, thank you for watching this. It was an amazing movie. And if you're watching this by now, you've probably already seen it because you should have turned off from the spoilers if you hadn't yet. So let me know in the comments what you thought, what you would rate it, and what you're looking forward to in a potential next Sonic movie. Have a great rest of your night.